everybody, it's Rebecca at Windy Branches Farm. We're going to pick some peppers this morning, jalapeno peppers and banana peppers, and get those canned today. So let's get picking. Hey everyone, Rebecca here at Windy Branches Farm. Today we are going to can the peppers that we picked together this morning out in the garden. And while those are processing, we are going to make a jar of salsa for dinner. And this isn't salsa that we're going to can. We're just going to make one jar to have in the refrigerator and that we can, have for dinner tonight. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is wash all of these beautiful peppers. We have tons and tons of peppers. So we just want to get those washed and ready for canning. So I've washed the peppers really well and rinsed them and washed them again. And I have them in this bowl. They look beautiful. I have them in this bowl and I put the bowl on and zeroed the scale and then weighed it with the peppers, and we have exactly 2 pounds of peppers that we are going to use. I think that this is I think we're doing 7 jars. It says 6 to 7, so we'll see if I have enough to fill up 7 jars. If not, there's half a sink full still over there that I've already washed. So we will get going with gathering some supplies. I suppose I could take you along for that. We'll go gather our supplies in here. This is my canning room, actually. I'll show you a little bit. This has all of our supplies and things we've canned and our honey. This is our big mixing bowls that we use for these big jobs. This is our All-American canner that we use, and these are all of our big pots. I'm gonna grab one of those to can these peppers today. And then this is the flowers that have been growing out in our garden. We have a flower garden out there, and this is the flowers. And my charts and things that I like to keep up with what's in the garden and what goes in next and all of that. And this is where I do my computer work and, edit these videos and stuff. It's taken me some time to get them out, but I'm working on it. And way up tippy top here, we have 2 fermenters. We have the weights. Let's see, where's the weights? We have the weights that go on top of whatever you're trying to ferment, and these are the plungers to plunge the food down in. And it seems like there's always moisture in this room, so we always have these out. But I'm going to grab a pot. I'm going to grab our jars and lids and rings. And I'll meet you guys back in the kitchen. Okay guys, I just want to show you what we've done here. These are our jars here that we're going to be using. We have 6 jars, and these are half pints. The small ones are half pints. These are actually quart jars. I'm not going to be using these quart jars, but what I want to do is prevent these jars from falling over and possibly busting during the canning process. So we just have these in here to take up space, basically. So as soon as this comes up to a boil, I will take the jars out when they're good and hot and sterilized, and I'll start stuffing the peppers into the jars. And back here we have our rings and lids simmering to get hot. So I'm going to put the lid on this, let it come up to a boil, and while we're waiting on that, I'm going to take these peppers and cut the blossom end and the other end off of these peppers. So for the brine for the peppers, what we need is 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. We need 1 cup of water and 1 teaspoon of pickling and canning salt. I suppose you could use the other salt, but since I have this on hand, I'm gonna use this pickling and canning salt. So what we do is we just add this all to a large pot. We're just gonna add it to a pot, and then I'll get a whisk and stir that all together and let it simmer while I work on the peppers. So we've got that going, so I'll be back. I'm going to work on finishing up cutting the peppers, and then we'll get our jars out and get them stuffed. Okay, our jars have been boiling for 10 minutes now, so they are ready. So what we're going to do is take the lid off of this big pot and set it aside, and we're going to turn the heat down on this boiling water to about medium-high heat, because you want to keep it hot, because we're going to stuff these jars and then put them right back in the hot water. And then we'll get the lids and rings out and get those sealed up and put back in the canner. So what we're going to do is ladle in the brine. I found my 1/2 inch mark on the tool, so we're going to ladle in the brine. There we go. Ooh, I almost turned that one over. Okay, so then you take this end of this tool and you just push down on the sides and make sure that you can get all the air bubbles out. Oops, we have pepper overboard. Couple of those out. Make sure that we got them all. Okay. So now we're going to get the lids and the rings and put those on and get them back in the canner. So There's another tool that we got from Ball. It has a little magnet on the end. So when you can pick up the lids and put them right on your jar. Actually, a step I missed. We have to clean these jars first. So just use a clean rag and wipe around the top and make sure that you don't feel any cracks or breaks in the jar. And they're super hot too, so. Okay, back to business. So put your lid on, and then these only get tightened fingertip tight, so just put it on, and just what you can tighten it with your fingertips is as tight as it needs to be. That is hot. Okay, so we're gonna get these back in the canner, and they need to process for 15 minutes after they come up to a rolling boil again. So I'll be back as soon as these process and show you what they look like when they come out. Okay guys, so the canning process is done. They processed for 15 minutes, and then I turned the heat off on the stovetop and let them sit for 5 minutes. Okay y'all, so this is our finished product. They're through in the canner, and I've moved them onto the counter. So they will sit here overnight until tomorrow evening, and then I'll take the rings off and store them. I went ahead and got them all labeled. And they're ready to store. So that is my very first time canning peppers, and I'm real proud of the way they've turned out. I just want to say thank you guys for hanging out in my kitchen with me today. Hopefully I'll be doing a lot more canning videos and tutorials and food preservation, freezing, you know, whatever the means may be. But if you found this video helpful and you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel, Wendy Branches Farm.